Hey yo, what is up, amazing souls? You can tell it's a day where I've already been up for quite a while and probably even moving when I've got all this energy flow. But it's good because I'm so excited to share it with you. And I'm really happy to be here today. I have had an amazing week so far, and I hope you have too. Oh, I just got a little nervous. I heard some water and I thought that was sprinklers. I thought we were all going to be jumping up and running inside together because you and I together, right? So I'm just setting up a little screen here so I can see when y'all comment as we do some new things. Hopefully this is a better picture. Today, team, beast mode. I'm super excited about this. I really love this. And we're going to be beast mode today, all right? We're going to do it beast mode style. So essentially, whatever it is that you're striving towards, focused on, or really wanting, let's focus on being strong and powerful through it, including that guy over there. Super beast mode. So I'm really excited to be here with you today. And man, like so many beautiful lessons coming through for me along this journey, especially as our world continues to move and grow. Maybe I need to bring my energy down and he'll bring his down. Let's try that. So I'm really excited because I'm having so many incredible lessons come through. And you know, remember, everybody that we choose in our world to be closest to us, and get that, I said choose because it is a choice. Everybody that we choose in our world is a big part of our learning and our lessons. So we should really pay attention to the things that we're learning in that space. And I've had some really powerful, I posted the other day a really neat image about ego. And I said, I think the quote that I posted was, my ego wants me to elevate me, but my soul knows that elevating you is elevating me. And it's really neat how that came through for me, all because of what's happening in my world. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all of the lessons coming through. And I hope you can observe and appreciate in your life that same concept and perception as well. I hope that you can think about the things that you're learning right now, the challenges, and how good they are for you, and how they're helping you, how they're getting you to refocus, or maybe even focus for the first time, and simultaneously giving yourself some grace as you do learn. I think that is really important. I think it's so important that we give ourselves some intentional focus, some discipline, just as we talked about in our meditation yesterday, but also some grace and giving ourselves some room to struggle and some room to grow. Our title today was Your Ego, Your Friend. The ego gets a really bad rap. When we talk about ego, we often speak of it negatively. And the truth is it's not that your ego is bad. Your ego is a part of you. And it is a part of you that needs to, not a part of you isn't separate from you, meaning it is a part of your whole. It is a part of what makes up your whole. But it is something that we need to learn how to navigate so that it doesn't get out of control. That's really what the ego is. And so instead of looking at ego as bad, maybe observe it as, sometimes we have these two voices on each shoulder. Sometimes one is the ego blasting to get out of control and saying how we need to be selfish and hoard and do everything for us. And then the other one is the opposite of not loving yourself at all and maybe doing everything for everyone and not really tending to yourself. So being balanced in these two energies, in these two voices, and in these two spaces in our life is really important. So really, I like to think of my ego as my friend. Some of you may know, and if you don't, you can certainly check out one of my shares on it. I'll continue to do a series that I battled an eating disorder, bulimia, for about 20 years of my life, on and off, but way more on than off. And I remember inside of that struggle, in that battle, I would always hate the eating disorder, and I would liken it to like a demon or something that just, I felt like it had a control. It had control of me. And I remember having disdain towards it, and I remember just being frustrated about it. And until I landed with my favorite coach ever, and my favorite coach ever told me, what would happen if instead of having disdain towards this something that right now is a part of you, is a part of your process, is a coping mechanism. In other words, remove the judgment. I wonder what would happen, and maybe you would be able to better integrate instead of have disdain towards something that is a part of you, which essentially is having disdain towards yourself. So instead of hating our ego, let's learn to create balance. Let's learn to treat our ego almost as if it were a friend. Let's listen, but let's not only listen to our ego, let's also listen to our heart. So let's find the balance. And today, we're going to really focus on that. We're going to really focus on finding that balance. Your ego is necessary, and you need to know that. It is a part of you. It is something that helps you. It's a part of us that, when in balance, helps keep us focused on ourselves and strong. And when we're not in balance, it causes us to be selfish, and it causes us to have a scarcity mindset instead of an abundant mindset. So that is the gift in balancing your ego, is that we get to keep a very balanced space in our life. We get to keep a very balanced intention in our life, and we get to keep an abundant mindset in our life. And so this is what I'm learning to, finding that balance. And I'm learning to listen to that voice and be able to differentiate between selfishness and selflessness, between self-care and also caring for the whole. What I do for myself, I do for others. What I do for others, I do for myself. So having a balance and a healthy relationship with our ego is really, really important. So if you didn't see and you're just hopping on, it's beast mode day, y'all. It's beast mode, meaning I'm really going to focus on being who I want to be today, showing up how I want to show up, serving myself and others with so much love. And so let's focus on that in our meditation today. My ego wants me to be frustrated at the lack of perfection around me. And my love has me just laughing and feeling really compassionate. Because we can't control things around us. Isn't it great? And we don't have to. And we get to have joy if we don't worry about it. So I choose joy. And I hope you do too. So I hope that some of my enthusiasm, my love, and my gratitude, and my heart is being extended to you right now, and that you are feeling that. And let's do it together. I love that you're here. I love that you are taking time for you today. So today, we're really going to develop our practice around allowing our ego in a different way to become our friend. And what would that look like? What if our ego wasn't the selfish asshole that sometimes we pin it to be, or sometimes we allow it to be, and instead our ego was a strong voice, just like maybe somebody in our life who loves us and shows up as a strong voice. So as always, I am open-handed and open-hearted. And we're going to begin, as always, with our breath. And we're going to focus on taking deep, long breaths. The way that we do this is we breathe diaphragmatically and then into our chest. And I know you can't see, but my hand is down here on my belly and my one on my chest. And you're going to breathe by expanding in your belly first, then expanding into your chest, and then slowly deflating. Okay, so 6 seconds means you have to slow your breathing down. That's a tough thing for us in our world. We want to go fast. So let's slow down a little bit and let's focus on our breath. Let's bring ourselves to the present moment. Let's breathe deeply in. And exhale, letting it all go nice and slow. 6-second count in and 6-second count out. Very good. Just allow yourself to be here. Allow yourself to be wrapped up in love. Breathe deeply in, long, slow, 6 counts. And exhale, releasing. There's a lot of mind chatter going on. That's okay. Give yourself some grace. Let's be here. Let's focus on your breath. The world can wait for a few. Be here with you. As we focus on our breath, the ego wants us to believe that we're so important that things around us can't wait. But the truth is, we're so important that everything else is happy to wait so that we can nurture ourselves today. Breathing deeply in and long exhalation. Focus on gratitude. Just be here right now and appreciate that is enough. You are enough. Watering our roots in this moment, taking some time is enough. Allow our connection to Source today to be bigger than our connection to self. Allow our connection to Source to be bigger than our connection to self. That is allowing our ego to be balanced. And take 2 more big deep breaths. Very good. And if you haven't taken your final one, go ahead and take your final one. Beautiful work. Settle into this meditation today with some gratitude and some focus. Let's focus on being present. Let's focus on stillness instead of the need to control everything around us. As we do our body scan today, let's really be in tune with where we feel what we feel. As we process from head to toe and intentionally release to allow ourselves to expand more. As we begin at the top of your head, releasing tension, releasing stress, releasing empty mind chatter. What is empty mind chatter? It's all of the thoughts that flow that don't cause anything good. It's the worries, it's the fears, it's the concerns outside of ourselves. Let's bring ourselves to calm. Let's bring ourselves to focus. Let's bring ourselves to good. Let's breathe and release that. As we move down the body, we have the neck and the shoulders. Notice if there's any tension. Notice if we're carrying anything that's not ours. And can we show up with so much love today and so much gratitude? It feels good to set down what is not yours. It feels good to carry what is just yours. The truth in responsibility. The truth in love. As we release that tension, moving down, relaxing the arms. If you're carrying any tension or pain in the arms and shoulders, where is this coming from? Everything is energy. If we're holding pain in our bodies, if our body is holding pain, the body follows the mind. What is going on in our mind? And can we breathe and release? If during your body scan you notice you have tension somewhere, maybe you can simply ask, what is causing that tension? What is the thought? What is the belief? What is the limiting belief driving that tension? As we move down the body into the chest, I like to breathe and expand the heart and notice if there's any restriction in my breath. Often restriction comes from one thing, and that is fear. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of becoming? What are you afraid of losing? Breathe deeply. Allow the heart to expand. Allow love to come in as we move down the body into the belly. How is our gut health? All of our organs processing, doing what they need to do to work together to create the healthiest organism possible, the best vessel from which we can do our best work. Are we taking care of that? Is our stomach a wreck? Are we not being mindful of our vessel? Can we breathe deeply and unwind some of those knots for a moment? Even in our individual bodies, there is a deeper understanding of how many have to work together in order to succeed. Your heart can't decide one day that it would like to turn off and give the load to your kidneys and your liver or your intestines. Nope. Every day they choose their strengths and they work together, just like us as a whole. As we move down into your hips, are you relaxed? Are you loose? Is there love flowing from your root? Is your root embedded in love, your root chakra, the energy from which everything flows from the floor up, the energy from which we connect to earth? Are we grounded in love? Are we connected to our ego, our friend? As we move down the body, into the legs, down into the feet, how are we rising every day? How are we using these movers to hold us? Do you take time to plant your feet, to slow down, to appreciate, to heal, to mend? Or are you racing everywhere? Patience does not mean not getting things done, not moving. Patience means accomplishing what you need to. As you stay focused, clearing your body, breathe deeply in and breathe deeply out. Breathe deeply in and breathe deeply out. Doing very good. Gratitude for our breath in this moment. So today, as we focus on how to integrate our ego as our friend, on how to allow that voice to become incredibly powerful and balanced. Maybe we can notice how there have been times in our lives where our ego has been the largest voice in the room of our soul, the room of our thoughts, and making decisions and choosing for us. it is important to identify and understand how the ego operates. Oftentimes people assume that the ego is really about conceitedness and selfishness, boastfulness, big-headedness. The ego can show up in many ways according to our personality and the characteristic traits with which we assume. The ego's job is to make us comfortable. The ego's job is to keep us safe from hurt, from fear, and primarily from discomfort. And there are many ways in which this happens. The ego, untamed and uncontrolled, causes us to stay stuck because then we don't feel hurt as deeply, then we don't feel pain as much. We don't take big risks. But that is not what a healthy ego is. We have to push back against the desire to pull away from discomfort. Imagine in your life how most of us are very swayed, impacted, affected by those closest to us. When someone you love says something to you, the amount of weight it carries versus somebody you hardly know. An unhealthy ego is going to take big swings back and forth in life based upon these big voices, because it's constantly reacting to try and maintain its existence and its presence in our life. Having a healthy ego is also attaching to healthy emotional response. It's like creating a delay between what we hear and how we respond. It is listening and then being able to make a decision based upon alignment and not fear, based upon abundance and not scarcity. Where in your world is your ego misaligned? Is it in your relationship? Are you reactive in a way to try to protect your heart? Although being reactive doesn't really protect us, it keeps us from love, but the ego would have us believe it keeps us from hurt. Is our ego present in our family? Are we more focused on everything that matters for us? Or are we really focused on how the whole is operating? Because we understand that a healthy and balanced ego sees that taking care of others and serving others, making sure others are okay, is creating a stable environment. That taking care of myself and making sure I'm operating well is just as much a part. And my health and my fitness is my ego always telling me to be comfortable. We'll start tomorrow. We'll do it another time. Doesn't really matter that much. Or is the healthy ego trying to keep you from stretching and making yourself uncomfortable, and you recognizing, applying some discipline, seeing the whole of the situation in your life and the whole of your ecosystem, and stepping towards what you want most? Is your ego in balance in your financial life? The ego is imbalanced when we become greedy and we seek to serve ourselves only? Or do we have balance in making sure that we are striving towards what we want, as well as lifting and helping and supporting those around us? Do we have healthy goals? Do we have a healthy relationship? Balance means all together, not black and white, not one or the other. In our friends, in all of our relationships in life, and those people we are closest to, are we seeking to create balanced partnerships, balanced connections, mutually beneficial relationships? Are we really seeking to make sure that those people we love and care about are also doing well and okay? Or are we always seeking to serve ourselves? Ego is beautiful. It is a part of helping us to learn what we want and what's important to us. Imbalanced, it truly deprives us from the most meaningful things in life. The whole of all of our lives is about relationships in every area of your life. In order to be successful, you must learn to have healthy relationships, and that begins with a healthy relationship with your ego. There is only one way to a healthy ego, and that is through the truth, and that is through honesty. In my life, there have been times when maybe I've lied to myself in one way or another because I just didn't want to look at some space within that was being selfish or protective. Maybe it was in a relationship and I didn't want to get hurt, so I would be reactive instead of vulnerable. The ego doesn't want us to be vulnerable. That's a little risky. That in vulnerability and in balance in vulnerability, we find the truest, most beautiful love. Where in your life are you practicing connection with your ego in a healthy way? What makes it healthy? What feels good about it? How do you know it's serving you and others around you in a beautiful way, in a way that feels good to you? It's good to understand how and where we have that healthy relationship. It's important to understand how we can utilize that same strategy, some of those same characteristics and goals in other areas. How can you connect with your ego to listen, pause, and respond with what feels most aligned? In creating the system of Humble Lion Coaching, the tagline that came through my heart was stay hungry and stay humble. And that is my reminder, most of all to myself, to keep the ego in balance, to always strive and yet always stay humble. Wherever you strive, you must balance that also with humility. If we are striving and finding ourselves feeling better and more important than others, we can certainly know that there ought to be some connection with our ego to bring in some balance. Where we are not striving, where we are hiding and being small, we can also find a better connection with ego. A healthy ego is confidence, is self-love, is self-belief. An unhealthy ego is the projection of self-loathing, is the projection of unworthiness onto others and within ourselves. What comes up for you in terms of balancing your ego? Can you feel something within pointing to an area in your life where you need to focus more on creating a healthy relationship with your ego? Pay attention to the thoughts that come through for you. In this time in meditation, these are our teachers. Body follows the mind. We must learn to navigate the mind. And so today, we get to bring into focus the areas where we need to spend a little more time creating some balance. Let's learn to become connected to our ego in a healthy way in order to rise up and be our best selves, and in order to reflect that and inspire others to be the same. Find the balance between taking and giving. Find the balance between watering our roots and encouraging others to do the same. Breathe deeply in. Expand in the belly, expand in the chest, and exhale. If you are feeling heavy in this awareness today, as you breathe deeply in, the more you allow yourself to expand, the lighter you become. Releasing that heaviness. Expand in your breath, slow and controlled. 6 seconds in, and then long exhales. With each and every breath, releasing tension, accepting surrender, choosing balance, releasing unwanted emotions. You are right where you belong. And all of your teachers are right here within and showing up around you to help us continue to create balance in our lives. Breathe deeply in. Exhale, letting go. So today, as we enter a new day, this is the perfect time to wrap ourselves up and wrap others up. This is the perfect time to identify how to create a little bit more balance in our lives. This is the perfect time to choose gratitude for your journey, as well as gratitude for others along the way. This is the perfect time to take what you need to be your best self and give back what others need to be their best. This is the perfect time to befriend your ego. So how are you feeling today? I hope amazing. I feel really, really good. I feel really relaxed. And I've definitely gained some really powerful insights along our meditation today. And so I hope you have too. Going to quick grab this so I can see if anybody leaves any comments today. I'd love to know if you have any insights that you learned about your ego today. Did anything come up for you in identifying where you can have a healthier and better relationship with your ego? I would love to hear from you all about that while you are watching, and maybe typing and sharing, which is great too. A couple of things. Please go to my YouTube channel, Coach Bree, and subscribe. I upload these videos every day, and I will soon be uploading much more content, all for your delight. And also, as always, we do this meditation every morning during the week at 7:30 and on the weekends at 10. And on Fridays now, we're going to keep it consistently. You can hop on Facebook, just like we do, but you can also hop on a Zoom call where I can see you and you can see me and we can see others on the call. We had a lot of fun with that last week. So if you would love to do that, whether you want to share or not, but maybe you just want to be in the presence of many doing the same thing, that's also an option. So those are a few tidbits and side notes. And so I hope that you are all having an incredible day today. I hope you are off to a good start. Trella Gordon says, my relationship with my higher power, the fear of completely embracing that pops up from time to time. In those times, I address the ego and allow myself to feel that love and feel good. I love that so much. Trella, please forgive me. I said Tressa. Trella, please forgive me. I love that very much. The fear that comes up, that's so beautiful to become aware of that. It is when we become aware that we can actually choose differently. That is fantastic. And I love that. You allow yourself to feel that and to feel love and to feel good. Something I say often to my clients, do what feels good. Because the truth is, if we're really doing what feels good, we're not feeling internal conflict. Good cue. If I'm feeling internal conflict about something that I'm doing, there's probably something about that decision where my ego is involved. This is a good little nugget. If I feel at peace about my decision and it feels good to do that, good indicator that I'm right in line with balance and healthiness. Katie says, yes, my work, my ego stops me. Ooh-wee. Very good awareness, Katie. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes we're not even paying attention to why we are simply responding and choosing and reacting the way that we are over and over again. And we do this and we hold these patterns for a long time, all while not even really changing or addressing the ego and how it's involved. This is really great. I love these shares. Thank you all so much for sharing. And so as always, I hope you have the best day ever today. I hope that you really focus on how you can integrate your ego and understand that it is not a bad thing and yet a beautiful thing. I hope you can learn to listen to your ego the same you would hopefully learn to listen to your higher power and source. Because healthiness and balance always stems from a place of love. And that always creates a feeling of goodness within us. Doesn't mean it's always easy, but we would have peace about it. When the ego is unhealthily involved, it creates internal conflict. So always a good indicator to check in. Thank you all so much for joining this morning. I can't wait to see you tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same bat channel, 7:30 in the morning. And please don't hesitate to share this so that others can hop on as well. And lastly, if you hadn't noticed, maybe the background of when you saw me first changed. Obviously, we had some outside noise and it is much more quiet in here. So just being flexible. So have a beautiful day today. And as always and every day, I hope you know your worth. Ciao.